everybody, welcome to the corner. Well, the rounded corner, I guess it is. Alright, so if you saw the latest tour, like I said, this back area here is going to have the engine terminal. But before I get too far along, I need to get this area sceniced up and finished. Finished is, again, a relative term. Alright, so what I want to do here, again, this does not have to be nearly as detailed as some of the other foreground scenes, because it's just not going to be all that visible and close once you get all the things in front of it that the people are really going to concentrate on. So, trying to think, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I got some hecky wildgrass, that's always a possibility. I have some Polack mats that might be good for some of the scruffier grass here in the front. There's going to be trees in here. Those will kind of be scruffy with some bushes. That is a model scene forest floor mat that I may use there, because I'm going to probably have trees come down to about in here. And then this will kind of just be, you know, normal embankment. Same thing along here, kind of tree. Then this is going to transition to a retaining wall, which may come over to a short tunnel between here and then the very edge of Sharon. So what I'm going to do is think about this and cut some of these up and get them glued in, and hopefully things look okay. Try to get this moved along and then get the track all cleaned up, and then probably put some more stuff in amongst the rocks and whatnot for a little more detail, and then be able to move forward and get the bench work in for the engine service area, because I kind of want to see how it's all gonna fit. So come back a little bit here, see how I do. Like I said, I got some Polack mats, some hecky wildgrass, some model scene mats, and some other tricks I might try to pull. But again, doesn't have to be super detailed, just enough to convey, yep, there's scenery back here, and I want to get this moved along. So, as I just knocked over my box of Peco track, alright, we'll be back in a little bit, see if I can I pull this one off. Okay, we're back. So here's the first layer of scenery on top of the rock. Hopefully you can see that showing up a little bit. Definitely looks a wee bit better. And over in here, this is all done around this corner. Over to roughly here, where I'm going to do something with the retaining wall. So what we have here, and again, I'm not going to go crazy on this because I don't need to make it super detailed because it's going to be so far away. In fact, roughly where the camera is here is the closest you can get to it once I have the other bench work in. So there's an MBR mat here. There's some hecky wildgrass kind of helping it blend in. Then there's a bunch of that hecky wildgrass here. There's a cut up mat here from Martin Welberg from Scenic Express, again with more of the hecky wildgrass in the front to blend it to the front of the rocks. More of the hecky wildgrass across here. This is, I believe, a Polack mat. I didn't have the name of the mat on it, or the company. I think that's where I got it. Cut across here and here. These are the little different tones that are in there. This is a model scene forest floor mat here and here. Another Welberg mat. Low scruffy grass here. And then down in here is more of the wild grass, some hecky Deco Grass, different varieties, especially the real scraggly stuff down here. And I'm going to come back in and put some earth and dirt and grime and whatnot down along in there, and do some more around the rock castings there. Probably come up in here and do a lot of ground fall, you know, leaf litter, because this is all going to have trees. La 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 la. So this is not going to look like this when it's done. And I found a new, actually something I just recently purchased. I got to find what the heck is it? Here it is. It's from Hecky. It's, I don't know if you can read that, Wild Grass Savannah. And it's similar to other Hecky products, but it's a wee bit different in that it does have, like the other company's grass mats, a little bit of more of a, it's kind of like a rubbery adhesive back to it. So it doesn't split and pull apart like the Wild Grass and Deco Grass does. But it's nice, and I have some of that interspersed throughout there because the color was kind of nice and the tonality seemed to match everything there. So I tried some of that. Here's the Deco Grass. I used a light green. This is light green, right? Light green. And what's this one here? Meadow Grass. So those are the two, because the tonalities of those kind of matched with everything else that was going on back there. So hopefully you can see kind of how that looks. Like I said, now we'll come in, and I did do a little bit more through the rocks, probably with some Deco Grass and, you know, a few, you know, trees coming out of it and whatnot. But again, not a whole lot, because it's not going to be viewed up close, so I don't need to spend a whole lot of time on it. This is the, whoops, sorry about that. This is the wild grass I used. What do they call it? Mountain Meadow. It's a good tone, and this is the stuff you can really pull apart. I like this, especially if you're not going to be right on top of it. Like I said, it looks, I think, in my opinion, I think it looks good from back here. So that's the first layer. I do need to put something here to hide that corner, but I have an idea what I'm going to do there. And just keep going on to the next layer. But especially back here, won't get a whole lot more. I'll do a little bit more over here, only because I'm definitely going to have more trees, and you can walk right into here. So you can definitely get closer to this than you can to that side there. So just back up and we can kind of see what it looks like. And the light, of course, I just knocked my track over again. Maybe I ought to move it out of my way when I'm working. Alright, so that's that area there. Layer 1.5. Let's keep working back here. Okay, layer 2, just about done here. What I did was just kind of went back in over here and added a little bit more Deco Grass and some of the other foliage, as you know, low-lying stuff around there. I didn't put the deadfall and the fallen leaves, but I'll get to that. Now on the rocks, I went back and also used some of the Hecky floor, Deco Grass, and other stuff to kind of go in around the rocks, make it look like there's some of that stuff growing up in there, and kind of work, you know, the edges of the retaining walls and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's pretty well, probably pretty much where I'm going to stop, except of course for trees. And so I added one there because I had one out of a 2-pack. And this didn't work out quite the way I had hoped. I might change it, but anyway, for now, I was just trying to hide the edge of that building. Not great. These are two MP scenery trees back there that I don't really like, but that's all I had until I make something. Also add a little bit along in here, just to add a little bit of elevation to the grass along the tracks there. So, for now, I'm going to let this simmer for a little bit. Need to come in here and clean, because I got foliage all over everything. Myself, the floor, the tracks. And then, I don't know, I might let this sit for a little bit, move on to the whatever I decide to do next. So, I think it looks okay. Blends in pretty nice. All the tones seem to match relatively well. And now it's just a matter of getting a whole bunch of trees for up in here. But I can reach this corner even with the benchwork up for the engine area. So this is what I really need to get to. Although obviously I can't get to this until I put all that in. So I'm going to be doing some climbing around. So I wouldn't necessarily have to have everything done. So I still can get back there and put trees in and stuff. Not a big deal. But just want to get as much of it done as I could. So I think it looks a lot better than it did. So let that sit and decide what the heck I want to work on next. Alrighty, well, while the trees and bushes and other shrubbery are drying up there in the corner, I decided to come in here and replace this turnout, so I got it in. There's my Peco Electrofrog number 6. I was able to carefully remove the old one. Well, I won't say carefully because it got itself destroyed, but that's okay. I wasn't going to reuse it anyway. So I got this one in. There's the surgical tools. Had to move the tower like a knucklehead. I kept it there. I think I'd be careful, but no, I slipped and I broke the railings, so now I got to fix that.
Freaking idiot!
Yeah, it's been abandoned a couple of days here on the railroad. But it's in, and everything seems to be working fairly good. Throw that bad boy. Seems okay. With our symbol of service there. Just wanted to see if I don't hear anything weird. I think it's the normal, just the normal noises. As it clicks over the. Okay, I think it's fine. I haven't fixed or done anything back here yet. That's why. Still hear it riding on the static grass. Alright, so we'll get this in. Get it secured. I gotta bring a feeder up for the frog. I think otherwise I should be okay. Although I did learn that the Peco turnouts are quite a bit smaller than the microengineering. This is actually where the original, here and here, the original microengineering switch turnout ended. So this is actually part of the turnout. So I was able to save some of the ties, put them back in, because I had to cut, ties off of this a certain way to make sure all the rail joiners get in there, and all that fun stuff. So, all right, enough said. I think we're going to be all right. I think we'll survive this. Get it secured down. Get everything, rebalanced. But I got to paint this to match. That's going to be fun, especially with all the other stuff I already did. But we'll get there. So, all right. So that appears to be all right. All right. We'll get this installed, get cleaned up, and get back to the scenery at the other end. Okay, here we are in the back corner, and I've gotten at least the one side pretty much, I think, far enough for me to be able to move on and add benchwork if I want to. So starting over here, again, this area I can get to, and that's all going to be trees, but I did add some more deadfall and whatnot in there. Didn't do really a whole lot over there since I can't reach it for the most part. I did come in through here, and I'll do a little bit of a close-up just to kind of show some of the stuff I used, but this is going to be pretty much it. So basically from this point over, I'm saying good enough. It's not going to be a real focal point because of what's going to be in front of it here. I know I keep saying that, but but I think that's going to be the case. So I just wanted to kind of bring it out, blend it in. I did do a little bit more foliage and goodies and whatnot over the rock face. Added some other foliage there in the back. I did break down and use 2 commercial JTT trees. I'll show you those in a second. So that's pretty much how I'm going to do it. Again, that's kind of, the rolling, coming down the hills, coming to the front. So these aren't really necessarily trees, in air quotes. It's more that lower shrubbery, bushy, sapling type of stuff that's right at the edge of where the serious trees are, which are in the background. So that is pretty much how that looks there. I did try to hide the corner of the building. Good enough. But again, it's not going to be a focal point. It's just to mark the obvious end where that flat building boop kind of ends. And I also add a little bit along in here just to get some foliage there. So let's we'll go back and I'll try to do another slow pan and just kind of point out some of the things that I used in this area just for fun. All right, started here in this corner edge, I guess. I put in one of the MBR large bushes and then some filigrane busha. That's a big hunk of filigrane busha. Say that 4 times fast. that just looked like a decent, you know, lower type shrub. These are two MP scenery, actually commercial trees that I stuck in there because they're far enough away. It looks okay because you're never even going to be this close as you are here in this video. And then lots of other various smaller bushes and more filigrane busha and MBR bushes, filigrane busha, some stuff here on the rocks. Just again, I try to blend that all in. These are two JTT scenery pine trees, or so they call them. Just move this thing a little bit closer there. Okay. More filigrane bush, another MBR bush, and a little fallen tree. I think that's, I forget where I got that. I just opened a drawer and found it and said, oh, okay. Here's some of the silphlore horsetail foliage. I put a couple of that in there. I don't know why, because you're not really going to see a whole lot. More bushes, MBR bushes, filigrane bushes, stuff stuck in there. This is some of the MBR shrubbery, low shrubs they call it. I really like that stuff. You can rip it out and plant it, or I just kind of stuck it back there against the edge to kind of give it a nice little blend into the back. Filigrane busha, two more MBR bushes, filigrane busha, some deadfall and twigs and sticks, and there's some darker color horsetail. Again, just trying to make it look like that scruffy stuff that kind of grows up at the edge of the forest, so to speak. And then coming around, again, more here. Not really a whole lot of room for trees, but some smaller stuff. I don't know why, I just like it. There's some rhododendron. You know, you guys know I like purple, so that's my signature for every scene. So that's my little bit of purple for this scene. Maybe more of a lavender color. Anyway, I like it. I don't know if a rhododendron would grow here, but whatever. It does on this layout. So, and then you can notice there's more, you know, some of the hecky floor and Deco Grass and whatnot is kind of draped in amongst the rock face. And it comes along, and then over on this side, didn't do a whole lot over here, except add that one. It just looked like a decent low tree. Now this area here needs a whole lot of trees. Again, to come out, I did add some more deadfall, like I said, up in that area there that I had in a bag. I think from real twigs and sticks that I had broken up and put in there. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I did drape some of that. Let me go a little bit quicker here. Some other stuff, again, to hide, kind of to meld in the edge of the retaining wall. There's some more foliage in there every now and then. There's some horsetail just put in there just for variety growing off the rock face. I did have one sticking out because I've seen that in pictures where there's things actually sticking out of the rocks. You would think, how does this stuff grow on rocks? But it does. So, alright, so that's that scene. As I'll kind of back up here again to where you were kind of gonna stand. Right about here, and I'll be a little bit higher in the air, but so that's about where the closest you're gonna be able to get. Roughly. I don't know if my zoom is actually correct, but you can see it's just to blend in the backdrop coming down, again the lower saplings and bushes to the rock face. So since you're not going to see a lot, good enough. I think it's fine. It's not going to, people are going to come in here and look at it one time and go, yeah, that's nice, and then the group of guys I'm going to have over, they'll be like, where's my train? What am I running? Because when you operate, you really don't tend to, I don't want to say you don't care about scenery, but you just don't notice it. I mean, I notice when I've been to guys' layouts, when I'm operating, I'm not really, I mean, it's fun to look, but once you get into it, you don't really care if there's even industries there. You go, where's the car go? What am I going to wait for? Who am I going to meet? So, alright, so that is that. And I have an idea where I'm going to work next, so let me do a quick pause and I'll show you that area. So in amongst all the other shenanigans going on, I did get this microengineering turnout replaced with a Peco number 6. And that's in. I did airbrush this to weather it, to kind of make it match. I might want to do a little bit more weathering to the ballast, but that is now in. Everything seems to be working fine. Like I said, it's a little bit interesting just because of the fact that the micro-engineering turnout is a wee bit larger. That turnout actually went out to here. So from here to here and here to here are pieces of the old turnout that I left in place. This is where the Peco starts. Then obviously runs back to here. And the one thing about the Peco is I kind of dislike the really large head ties. But, you know, whatever, I can live with it. Some folks complained about the way the points look. But you know what? I'd rather the darn thing operate and be reliable. And there you go. So I'm fine with it. Again, the frog is powered up. I can say I got to clean the rails. There's some of the some Mod Podge on that. So anyway, so that's kind of in. I might come back with a little bit more, do some more blending. I still got to fix the tower, the railing that I broke. But so this is done. I'm glad I did this. It did take a little bit of time, but I feel a lot better. That now it's going to operate properly, not cause problems during operating sessions. So that was accomplished as well.